Hello everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Elizabeth, and since we can't do yoga in the Vineyards right now, the fine folks at Biale had such a great idea for me to bring the yoga to you. So that's what we're going to do today. Welcome. And gosh, during these crazy times, we're all doing our best to stay healthy, and so what we're really going to focus on today is making sure that we keep our bodies healthy. Lungs, breathing is very important, so we'll be doing some breathing exercises throughout our practice today, and as well at the end we're going to do a breathing practice and also a really nice relaxation. So I invite you to, for our relaxation, we need something nice and cushy. If you have a bolster, that's great. I'm going to use a couple of folded up beach towels. A pillow will also work. If you have a body pillow, that will work really well. We're just going to place it behind our back so we can really get some expansion in our chest today. So if you don't have that handy, pause the video, go ahead and get that, and we'll start when you come back. And I hope you and your families are all well and staying healthy. So let's begin in a comfortable seated position. We want to make sure that our spine is up nice and tall. We can sit crossways if that feels good. We can have our legs out here. We can bring them in close and bring our ankles up if that feels good as well. Whatever's comfortable for you. And I'd like you just to take a few moments and take some nice deep breaths. Close your eyes if that feels good. And just allow all your tension to melt. Inhaling that nice clean air and exhaling, let the shoulders drop. Let your body melt. Honoring yourself for taking a moment today to take good care of your body. So the first breathing technique we're going to examine is called the three-part breath. We're going to bring our breath deep into our belly. We'll feel our lower belly pushing out. You'll even feel those fingers moving, and then as you exhale, you'll feel those fingers coming back together. We'll move that to the rib cage, and then finally up to the shoulders. So begin by putting your hands on your belly, inhaling, pushing that belly out, exhaling, pressing that air out. So feel that expansion in your lower belly. And now we'll bring our hands up into our rib cage and fill up the middle part of your lung. Feel your fingertips moving apart, and then as you exhale, they'll come back together. You may feel like you're getting a little taller here. And now finally, we'll take our hands to our opposite shoulders. We're going to fill that upper part of our lungs. Feel your shoulders rise, and then exhale, dropping down as you let that air come out of your lungs. Let's do one more here. Okay, so we're gonna put all three of those together now. You can place your hands wherever you want. I kind of like to hold onto my knees because sometimes I really fill my body with air and then I let it round out. So inhale, filling that belly, rib cage and chest. Fill yourself as full as you can with your breath. And then exhale through the belly, the rib cage and the chest again. Inhaling as you fill, full as you can. Hold for a moment. And exhale, release. Belly, rib cage, and chest. We'll do a couple more of those with our own breathing patterns. expanding. Push that air out fully, getting all that stale air out. One more. And then return to your normal breath. Does your chest feel a little bit more open now, a little bit expanded? I hope so. This is a great way to calm down your nervous system, which if you're feeling stressed or a little bit anxious, wonderful way to just really calm that nervous system and help you find a more relaxed position. So let's now uncross those legs and come into our tabletop position. We're going to put our hands directly below our shoulders and our knees directly beneath our hips. Take a deep breath in, press your belly towards the mat, looking forward, and then exhale, pull your belly button into your backbone, around your spine, looking between your knees. Inhaling as we lengthen, and exhaling as we pull that belly button in. Following your own breathing patterns. We'll do a few more. And now coming back to that neutral spine, we're going to take our right leg out behind us. Press your leg out behind you, pressing through that heel, and take your left hand up towards the sky, or out in front of you. Turn your palm facing inwards where your thumb is up towards the sky. We have our arm and ear lined up, and we're actively reaching through the fingers and the heels, keeping that body strong and long. Try to keep those hips square, and of course keep breathing. Now inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull your elbow into your knee. Inhale as we lengthen, and exhale, pull that elbow in. Now following your own breathing patterns, we'll do 3 more. 2, and 1 more. Bringing those knees down and those hands down, adjusting your body weight again. Take your left foot out behind you now, pressing through that heel, keeping those hips nice and square. And then extend your right arm out, thumb to the sky, arm and ear lined up, actively reaching here. Lengthening through that body, strengthening that core. Keep breathing. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale, pull that knee into that elbow. Inhale and exhale. 3 more, following your own breathing patterns. One more. Let's come back down here. And now take your wrists, walk them out to your sides or to the sides. Getting a nice stretch for those wrists. See how far around you can comfortably bring your fingers. And wherever you are is just fine. This works just fine as well, wherever it's comfortable. Now we're just gonna move around a little bit, stretching those wrists. Let's rotate around to the other side. And we're going to sit back on our heels. If it feels comfortable to you to curl your toes underneath and sit like this, by all means. But if it doesn't feel good, come all the way down. I'm going to stay here because I like that stretch. Let's roll our wrists around. Now sometimes if you haven't done much yoga, being in that position can be uncomfortable. So I want to offer you up some suggestions in case your wrists are bothering you during our practice. So ideally, we want to have our hands pressed in flat to that mat, actively pressing through the fingertips. But if that's uncomfortable, the first thing you're going to do is soften up your fingertips. Then we can also bring our hands out towards the sides to take some of that pressure off. We can also roll our mat so that we have a little ledge there and the angle's not as much. So there are some options for you. So stay where you are on your tabletop. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. So from this perfect tabletop position, we're going to take our left foot and bring it out and line up our right foot and that left foot. Take your left hand to the sky. Now this can be a little tippy, and if you're feeling like you're going to tip over, take your right foot out behind you, use it as a tripod. Actively reaching up here, nice long body length. Lifting the rib cage up towards the sky. Our shoulders are stacked one on top of another. Side plank. Now we can take our hand and reach it over, continuing to breathe. If this feels uncomfortable on your neck, try to keep it relaxed, or you can look down towards your hand. Breathing here. Now, take a deep breath in, lift yourself up here, and come over to the other side. Inhale, and then exhale as we come back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale as we come back. Inhaling as we lift up. Let's do that a few more times, following our own breathing. One more. Good job. Let's come back down to our tabletop position. I'll turn around again. So take your right foot out and line it up with that left foot. Our left wrist and our left knee are lined up, and we're going to open up. If you're a little tippy here, take your toes out behind you. Lifting the rib cage, extending through that side body. Nice deep breaths here. Opening up the lungs. Now we can take our hand up overhead if that feels good. Really lifting that side body towards the sky. We can gaze down at our thumb if that feels better. Breathe. Take a nice deep breath, exhale, and then as you inhale, lift up and reach over. Inhale, exhale, come down, and then inhale, lift. Exhale, come back over. Bringing more air into our lungs, really creating space in the ribs here. Let's do two more, following our own breathing. Last one. Beautiful. Let's come back to that tabletop position. And from here, we're going to drop our hips back towards our heels, bringing those hands out and pulling ourselves all the way to a seated position. Let your arms relax, child's pose. Checking in with your bodies here. So child's pose is where we will come back to during our practice. If at any time our body needs a rest, we need to check in, come down to child's pose at any time throughout our practice to just really check in and center with your body. So back to that tabletop. Curl your toes up underneath you. Lift your tailbones up towards the sky and press up through those hands. We're going to press one heel into the mat and then the other. Alternating sides. is called down dog. So we're lifting those tailbones up towards the sky. We're pressing away from the mat with those arms, bringing our body in that beautiful V position. Now let's try to bring both heels down towards the ground, pressing away from that mat. Gaze comes forward, and we're going to walk our feet into our hands. Keep your knees bent a lot. We'll take a flat back. Inhale, lift up towards the sky, and exhale, pull your hands down into heart center. So in our standing position, ideally our feet are about hip distance apart. Evenly spreading the weight between both feet. Take a deep breath in. Reach up towards the sky. Exhale into a forward fold. Bending those legs a lot to come all the way down. Inhaling as we lift. Exhaling down. Lifting and down. Let's do one more. Now this next time when we come up, grab your right wrist with your left hand and reach to the side. Keep those legs long and strong. Breathing into that nice side body stretch. Inhale back to center, and then exhale over to the left side. Lifting and opening through that rib cage. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, pull those hands back down to heart center. Now for this next one in our standing position, we're going to bring our hands behind our back. If it's comfortable to clasp your hands, by all means do. If that doesn't feel good, just grab onto your wrist. Draw the shoulder blades back. Open the chest, gazing upwards. Filling the lungs completely. And then we'll soften the knees. We'll bend over with that flat back. And if it feels good, come all the way over. We can keep our hands against our back. We can let them come over. Our legs are long without locking out those knees. Bring those hands down to your back and then all the way down to the mat. Bend your knees a lot, flat back. Inhale, reach up to the sky, and exhale, pull down into heart center. Now step towards the top of your mat if you're not there yet. We're moving into our first sun salutation. So we inhale as we reach up. We exhale to that forward fold, bending those knees a lot to get the hands to the ground. Step back into a plank position. We can always come above the knees if that feels better as well. Lower down with the elbows next to the body in chaturanga. Draw your shoulder blades back and together. Firm up your belly and inhale as you lift your rib cage away from your hips, lengthening through that front body. Keep the neck and shoulders relaxed. Exhale, come down to that mat. Curl your toes under, pressing up to that tabletop and all the way up to down dog. Breathing here, pressing with the hands. Now gazing forward, bring your right leg up and place it between your two front hands. Stay up on the toes on that back foot. Lift up. High lunge. Dropping into those legs. Keep those shoulders relaxed. We can gaze upwards if that feels good. Sometimes it makes me dizzy though. Let's bring those hands down. Step back to that plank. We can use the knees here if we want as well. Lower down in chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. Oh, darn it. Exhale into down dog. Hands gaze forward. Step forward with your left foot. coming into that high lunge. Sorry about that program interruption. Dropping into those legs, breathing here. We can gaze upwards if we want. Continue to breathe, raising that chest towards the sky. Bring those hands down. Step back to that plank. We can bring the knees down to chaturanga, cobra or up dog. Curl those toes for down dog. Gazing forward, walk your feet in. Flat back, inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. There's our first sun salutation. We're going to add on now. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's step back to our plank. You can bring those knees down if you want as we lower in chaturanga. Elbows stay glued to the sides. Inhale into cobra. Drawing the shoulder blades back and together. Stretching that front body. Curl your toes under. We can come to tabletop or straight into down dog. Pressing away from that mat here. Gaze comes forward. Right leg comes forward. Now take your back foot and line it up so the arch of your back foot lines up with the heel of your front foot. We're going to turn our hips forward. Inhale as we reach up and exhale, drop into that warrior. Feel the strength in your legs. Lifting the arches and pressing through the outsides of the feet. Draw your shoulder blades back and together and open your chest to the sky. Now if this bothers your neck or shoulders, we can bring our hands to our hips or to heart center. We can also point those pointer fingers and gaze up. Four, three, two, one. Now release your hands, bring them behind your back. Clasp them again or grab onto a wrist. We're going to lean forward over that leg and bring those hands up. Dropping into those legs. Release your hands down, bring them back to your mat. Come up on your toes and your back foot and step back to that plank position. Take your left foot forward for warrior one on the left side. So left heel lined up with the arch on your right foot. Turn those hips forward, bring those arms up and drop in. So we can bring our hands down, we can have them at heart center, or we can bring them up and point those pointer fingers. Actively press into the outsides of your feet, lifting the arches. Make sure that you have a good line on your knee here, that your knee's not forward here. You want to line up nicely here. Now release those hands behind your back. Draw the shoulder blades back and together and lean over. Humble warrior. Keep those legs strong. Release those hands down to the mat. Pivot up on your toes on your back foot. Step back for that plank. Lower down in chaturanga. Up dog as we inhale. Down dog as we exhale. Gazing forward, walk those feet forward. Soft knees, flat back. Inhale, come up. And exhale, pull down in heart center. For this next sun salutation, I'm going to change sides so you can see me better on the right side. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale into that forward fold. Step back into your plank. Lower down in chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Now gaze forward. Right foot comes forward for that warrior one. Drop into those legs, press through the outsides of the heels. Now open up into Warrior Two. Pretend that you are the cream in the middle of a sandwich cookie, or the air between planes of glass. Gaze over your front thumb. Draw your shoulder blades back and together while you actively reach with those fingertips. Drop into those strong legs, pressing through the outside of the foot, lifting the heel. Warrior Two. Can you feel the strength and power here in this move? Let's bend our right arm and put it on our right knee. Extend that left arm up or overhead, dropping into those legs. If your neck is bothering you, we can gaze down. If your neck or shoulder is bothering you, bring your hand to your hip. Try to keep those shoulders stacked one on top of another. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up, we're going to reverse that. Dropping into those legs. Shoulders are relaxed. Opening up through the rib cage. Opening the chest. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to cartwheel over that front foot, come up on the toes and the back foot, step back to that plank position, and then bring your left foot forward for Warrior One. I'm going to switch sides. Of course, you don't have to here. So lifting those arches, dropping into those legs. Shoulders are relaxed. Now open up for Warrior Two. Actively reaching out with those hands, gazing over that front thumb, making sure you have a good line between your knee and ankle here, and pressing through the outsides of the feet. Pretend you are the pages in a book between those two book covers. Feel your power and your strength in this position. Now bend your left elbow, place it on your left knee, and bring that arm up overhead. Try to keep those shoulders stacked. We can also reach the arm up overhead if that feels good. We can gaze down at the ground if that feels better for our neck. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come back up here and reverse it. Right hand down that right leg, left hand to the sky, opening up through the side body, lifting the chest upwards, opening and expanding the lungs. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Let's cartwheel over that front foot. Come up in your toes on that back foot. Come back to that plank position. We can come to our knees if we want as we lower to chaturanga. Draw the shoulder blades back and together. Point those toes. Inhale, lift up. Curl those toes under. Exhale, down dog. Breathe into that down dog. Feel your strength, feel your power. Gazing forward, walking up to those hands, soft knees, flat back. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, pull down in heart center. All right, come into the other side for me again. We're going to start inhaling up. Exhaling into that forward fold. Step back to your plank. Knees work here if that feels better to you. Lower down in chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Gazing forward, right foot comes forward for Warrior One. And then open to Warrior Two. Actively reaching with those hands, gazing over that front thumb. Strong legs, lifting those arches. Let's reverse that warrior, opening up through the rib cage. And now, let's lengthen through both legs. Take your right hand out and hinge your hips out to the left. Reach with that right hand and then come down into triangle position. So if your hand is here, that's great. If it's down here, that's fine. We really want to focus though on lengthening through the side body, keeping our body between those two planes of glass. If your neck or shoulders are bothering you, we can bring our hand here. We can gaze down. We can bring our hands to heart center. Whatever feels better to you. This is all about listening to our bodies and honoring them. Now take a deep breath in, lift yourself up. Point your toes out to the sides and bend your knees. Opening up through those knees. Bring your arms out. We can wiggle side to side if that feels good. We can just hold it steady here. Bring your hands behind your back. Clasp your hands. Open that chest. Now come on up. Point your toes forward and lean forward with the hands clasped behind your back. We can come all the way over, but if it feels better to stay here, by all means. We want our legs to be long without locking out the knees. Release your hands down to your back. Bring your hands down to the ground. And we'll move our body weight over to our right side, lifting the left toes if that feels comfortable. We can bring our hands here, or we can hold ourselves here, whatever feels better. Bring those hands down, switch your body weight to the other side. Skandasana. Feel that nice stretch in the inner thigh? If you need a little support, that's all good. We need to be able to lean on each other these days, so use the support you need. Come back to center. Our toes are pointing forward still. We're going to bend those knees a lot. Put your hands on your thighs. Lift yourself up. Point your toes to the front of your mat again. And we're going to cartwheel our hands down, coming up on our toes on our back foot. Step back into that plank position. And then bring your left leg forward. I'm going to switch directions so you can see me. Starting at that warrior one. Pressing through the outsides of the feet. Open to warrior two. Do you feel your strength? Are you between those two planes of glass? Let's take it to a reverse. Breathing into the rib cage, lifting the heart to the sky. Now take a deep breath in, lift yourself up here, and lengthen through that front leg. Keeping those hips square, arms come out to the side. Press your hip out and reach towards those front toes. Hinging when it feels right. Above the knee is great if that feels better to you. We want to make sure though that we don't have a hand on our knee. That's too much pressure. And we want our legs to be long, but we don't want to lock out our joints. So we keep those joints slightly soft. We can gaze down. We can bring our hand down if that feels better. We can also bring our hands to heart center. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pull yourself back up. Point both toes slightly outwards. drop into that goddess pose. Now from here, we're going to take our right arm to the side, bring it in front of our body, take your left arm, hook it from underneath, so your left elbow is underneath your right elbow, and bring your hands together in eagle arms. Can you lift those elbows? It kind of feels funny, I know. It's a great stretch. If your legs are getting tired, you can straighten them out a little bit. Just make sure you don't walk them out. Let's release here. Let's try that the other way. So left arm on the bottom, or top, right arm on the bottom. Bring those hands together. Is it a little bit easier on one side than the other? Sure is for me. Can you lift those elbows a little bit? Let's release. Point your toes forward and keep those knees soft as we come down to the ground. We can leave our hands here. We can bring them out to our feet. We can reach behind us. So all these options. Now straighten out your back and put your right hand directly beneath your face. Lift your left hand towards the sky, rotating through that waist. Actively pressing away from that mat, getting that nice rotation through your rib cage. Hips stay square. Breathe. And bring that left hand down where your right hand was and open up to the other side. Four, three, two, and one. Bring that hand back down. Soften, bend your knees, place your hands on your knees. Bring that straight back up. We're going to turn our toes to the other end of or to the front of our mat again. We're going to cartwheel those hands down, coming up on those toes. Step back into our plank. We can bring the knees down to lower down to chaturanga if we wish. Inhaling into up dog. Exhaling into down dog. Hold your down dog right here. Press away from that mat. Are the back of your legs a little bit more limber than they were when we started? Now lift your right leg up behind you, coming into a three-legged dog. Open up your hip, press your hips to the right. Try to keep your body weight evenly distributed between both sides. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down and switch sides. Lift your left leg up behind you. Three-legged dog. Pressing through those heels. Then open that hip up, press to the left. Three, 2, 1, and release back down. Gazing forward, walk your feet to your hands. Soft knees, flat back. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, pull down in heart center. Nicely done. All right, so let's find our balance. Balance on your left leg. Make that leg strong like a tree trunk. Press in through the toes and the outside of the foot. Lift the arch. Strengthen up your thigh. Now take your right knee and lift it up towards your chest. Drawing that knee in, keeping that core engaged. Now if this doesn't work for you today and you're here, it's all good. Listen to your body, that's what this is about. If you find a focal point though, that can really help. Now, can you grab onto your big toe And can you extend your leg out? If not, you can hold on here. You can just keep your knee drawn in as well. You decide what's right. Let's take it out to the side. Bring it in. Tree pose. Try to keep those hips open. If your balance is feeling pretty good, we can bring our hands out to our side, bringing our middle finger and thumb together. Oops, slipping. Bring those hands up. Now, if you're here, that's totally good too. Let's bring those hands down. Bring the hands back to heart center. One more balance. See if you can take your leg out behind you. Leaning forward from the hips. Warrior 3. Now, that balance thing isn't working and or it hurts your back. Using a kickstand is great. Take some of that pressure off. And you're just barely reaching, holding your toes down there. So it's a wonderful alternative. 4, 3, 2, and rest. Oh, good. Shake out your legs. Do you feel that in the lower part of your leg that you don't use very often? Okay. Let's find our balance with our right leg. So press in through the toes, the outside of the foot, and the heel lifting the arch, keeping that leg nice and strong. As you find your balance, draw your left knee up into your chest. And of course, wherever we are today is right where we need to be. So honor your body. If this is accessible, by all means. Move that up leg out. I don't go out quite as far on this side. Let's bring that foot in. And wherever your foot is against your leg is fine, except we don't want to push on our knee. So anywhere but the knee. Keep those legs strong. Bring our hands out. Bring them up. Now if you're really brave, you can try gazing up, but I know I'm going to fall if I do that, so I'm not going to. Let's bring those hands back down. Let's release that leg. Take it behind us. How's that right leg feeling? Do you feel all those muscles that don't get used very much? Now use that kickstand if that's better for you. Whoop. Find that focal point. Yikes, I might have lost my balance. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, very good. Let's shake out that leg a little bit. All right, so come to the front of your mat. Cross your ankles if you're brave. And sit down. Okay, so as we sit, we want to make sure we're sitting with a nice long posture. If it feels like you're kind of rolling back a little bit, we can take one of these towels and just put a little bit of it right here at the edge so it helps us come forward a little bit on our sit bones to get that nice long spine. So sitting up with those legs nice and tall, or nice and long, let's take our right foot in to our left thigh. Take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, come down, put your left hand on that right knee, put your right hand behind you, and let's rotate around, keeping that spine nice and long. Breathing here. So as we inhale, we think about lengthening that spine, and as we exhale, we think about that rotation. Sitting up nice and tall, breathing here. One more nice deep breath, and let's release back. Then inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold over your front leg. So wherever you're comfortable is good. This works. We can come all the way down. Whatever works for you. Just breathing into the stretch, allowing your muscles to release and to relax. And let's come on up. Now we're going to angle our legs a little bit differently. We're going to take our left leg out to the side a little bit more. Keep that right leg in, but this time we're going to take our left hand inside the left foot, and here is fine, and then open up the right hand overhead. So we may be here, we may be down here. Wherever you are, it's good. Just try to keep that chest open. Breathe. If this is uncomfortable on your neck, you can drop that arm down as well. And let's come back up. We're going to switch sides. So first, our leg is straight out front. That left foot comes into our right thigh. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, right hand to left knee, rotating around. Really lengthening through that spine and rounding around. And inhaling back to center, bring those arms up, and exhale as we lean over that leg. So wherever you're comfortable is great. In fact, if it feels a little uncomfortable for you to lean over, sometimes you can use a towel or a pillow to just help take a little strain off. Wherever it feels good to you is where you need to be. So let's come on up, and then let's open that leg out to the side and take our right hand down the inside of that right leg and bring that left arm up and over. Feel that nice stretch in that side body, opening up the rib cage. Breathing, modifying as necessary. And let's come back up to center. And coming back to center. So before we get into our full end relaxation, I'd like to offer a breathing practice that I have learned called the 4-7-8 breathing. And we breathe in for 4, we hold for 7, and we exhale for 8. And this breathing has helped me so much. If I'm feeling stressed out, overworked, too much to do, stopping to take a few breaths of the 4-7-8 breaths really helps calm the nervous system, helps calm me down. And it's also really effective if you wake up in the middle of the night, maybe you have a little bit of that monkey mind going on and you can't fall back asleep. The 4-7-8 breathing really helps. So the way we begin is we take a deep breath in, we exhale, get all the air out, and then we breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and exhale for a count of 8. So we're going to do 3 of those breaths together. So take a deep breath in, and then exhale all your air out. Really get all that air out, and then begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale. All that air out. Inhale. 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. So that's called the 4-7-8 breath. May make you feel a little bit dizzy since we've been moving so much. You can actually look up 4-7-8 breathing online and you will find it, as well as some other ideas for breath that really helps calm the nervous system and help us release stress. So for our final position today, we are going to use that towel or pillow, whatever you have. I'm going to stack mine up because I want to get a lot of expansion here. And so move them to about where the halfway point of your mat and bring it right against your hips. And we're going to lean back over that. If it feels comfortable to have your head on the ground, fine. If you need to have your towel under there, that's fine as well. And we'll bring our arms out to the sides. We can leave our legs crossed. We can bring the soles of our feet together. We can bring our knees up, or we can lengthen our legs out. Whatever feels good to you. I kind of like to make a diamond with my arms and a diamond with my legs. And we're just going to stay here for a few minutes and breathe. Close your eyes if that feels good. Just feel how the chest and the lungs expand. Make sure that we draw our chin a little bit towards our chest so we lengthen through the back of our neck. release our hands from wherever they may be. Bring your knees back together and roll onto your side. Push yourself up to a seated position and sit comfortably. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice. And without further ado, let's have a toast. Cheers. Thank you so much for watching today. This is the first video that we have made, and we had a couple of snafus, but I hope you could follow along just fine. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then,